So in a few days, a number of you will be coming through that door and coming into this space to gather, maybe sitting in these pews together and to worship together. And you may or may not have heard all of the restrictions that are going to be around a live service here in the church due to Alberta health regulations, how there will be no singing, how there's no fellowship time before or after, how we need to maintain some physical distance, both within this space as well as we come and go, as well as when we leave into the parking lot, right? We have to follow these various restrictions because the virus hasn't gone away. But then you may be wondering, with all this extra work, because we're going to still have to have live services and have to have services online, we will also have to provide a whole lot of cleaning and other kinds of things that come, especially if we go to multiple services, as we may in the future. We have to have some registration ahead of time, and then people may not be able to make it, and all that kind of stuff. And you may be wondering, with all of this extra work that goes into having a service here for only about 40 people, we need to keep some space for pastors and other support people here, but then also we need to keep some space for people in the community in case they may want to drop in. So I may only be allowed to have 40 people from Woody Nook CRC register to come and attend in any service. So why would we bother? Well, there's a couple of reasons. And one I think that is most significant to me is that in a time of upheaval or a time of uncertainty and a time of difficulty, which it has been for many of us, I know quite a few of us it hasn't been. Our daily routines haven't changed all that much because we live in a rural area and our jobs don't involve connecting with a lot of people, but for others, routines have changed a lot. Whether you own a business and you've had to figure out ways to create physical space for all of those who work with you, or whether you've been laid off because your job no longer has a spot for you, or whether you had to stop taking in-house classes or these other kinds of things. And now maybe your routine has totally changed because, well, it's summertime, and as a child you went from having kind of in-home school to having no school, or maybe your parents came up with other kinds of things for you to learn and for you to do, because it's always good to continue to learn. I don't know what it looks like for you, but in times of uncertainty and difficulty, having something that is familiar and grounding is really important. And so while the services will not be identical to what they were before all of these restrictions came in with the virus, there will be something that Pastor Dana and I will be working on to create a space here which will feel familiar. And yes, there still will be online services, there still will be all of those things that we've been doing the last little while, but then there will also be an opportunity for some of us, a limited number of us, to gather here in a very different way maybe, but also in a very familiar way. A way in which we can still feel like this is Woody Nook Church getting together. And so if you're interested in coming, I'd encourage you to sign up. If you're staying home for whatever reasons, and there are all kinds of very good reasons, you don't feel comfortable coming into contact with a number of people at this point in your time. Maybe you're protecting yourself or others from the illness or from other kinds of things, and that's fine. That is totally understandable. But we wanted to make an opportunity to create a space for some of us to be able to gather here in a way that will feel familiar and can provide some grounding for us during this difficult time. I hope that you're being able to find that regardless of where you worship, and that the things that we have been engaging with together help you to provide and find a space of comfort and joy in the middle of this time. God bless.